What is up, YouTube fragrance lovers everywhere out there? Thanks for joining me here on my channel, Steven Sturgill. Guys, today we're looking at yet another Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz or nothing. Fragrance. And today, guys, got my hands on this guy. Sorry for the fact that the box is already open. Could not wait. This is the Mercedes-Benz VIP Club Pure Woody. Quite rare, a little tricky to get these days, definitely not that common, by the legendary nose Harry Fremont, or Fremont, and that's a picture of good old Harry there, dapper looking man, and it says concentrated elegance, quintessence of woods, the symbol of genuine classic chic, or chick, however you want to say it, and really nice penmanship. That's a dying art, unfortunately, with today's go digital crowd, but whatever. Okay, let's get into this frag. Firstly, the bottle. My God, are these gorgeous freaking bottles. I just cannot believe how gorgeous these bottles are, and I don't know if the cam can get the color of this juice in the light, the transitions. Let's see if it can pick up any of this. I don't know if I can get the transitions of the color in the glass. Let me lean back. Well, not quite. Nope. You'd have to see it in person, but it's just beautiful how the light hits this bottle and has this really delicious sort of turquoise, aquamarine, very aquatic, rich, deep sea green blue. Just a gorgeous color. And you would think, or I would think, that I would get maybe some more aquatic sea notes in here, but I don't, and I didn't. But that's fine. It's still gorgeous bottle, gorgeous juice. I think it's worth having this if you're a collector. Now, let's get into the scent. Really good, but not quite world class, and I'll tell you why in a second. Firstly, the notes. Let's get into the note breakdown. Again, Harry Fremont or Fremont was the nose on this, and I'll talk about what Harry's done besides this in a second, but let's get into the notes. Apple, cardamom, ginger, those are all in the top. Middle notes are clary sage, violet leaf, and geranium. And base, finally, is amber. Now, what I find is that the violet leaf mixing, especially with that clary sage and the geranium, serve to sort of kind of dirty up an otherwise probably too sweet fragrance, I'm guessing. Because if you let the apple, which I think is green apple, just go wild, and that's your centerpiece, you're going to have a candy apple fragrance fit for a 13-year-old. No offense to 13-year-olds out there everywhere, but you know what I'm saying? You would just get a candy shop frag that really no adult in their right mind would rock. Except maybe some bad taste individuals on date night. Just okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I could go down a cliff. But, and then the cardamom and the ginger, so you get kind of a spicy apple note with that ginger and cardamom mixing with the apple note. But again, that clary sage mixed with the geranium and violet leaf and the amber serve to not only warm up the ambiance of the fragrance, the character, if you will, of the fragrance, but they serve to sort of dirty it up and ground it back in Mother Earth, not to sound like a hippie, but it just doesn't let it run wild to a very too synthetic, overly sweet green apple vibe only accord. Yes, green apple's in here. Yes, there's some sweetness in here, but there's also some earthiness. There's a little bit of spice. There's that powdery plant spice vibe from the geranium. The violet leaf adds that little purple tinge, if you will, of you know how violet leaf smells, and clary sage giving that sort of dirty, funky herbal, almost akin to like a really dirty vetiver, but not with that juicy sweetness of the vetiver. If you just chop that off and left you only with the dirty, earthy aspects of the vetiver, that's kind of what I get sometimes from clary sage. And I believe, I could be wrong, I believe there's several other smaller notes in here that they're just simply not delineating and they're not listing. And they're definitely in there. I just can't put my nose on exactly what those are. But this reminds me of some old French recipes in the sense that it's pleasant, but not overly so. It's funky and dirty, but certainly not overly so. It's sweet, and it's got the apple fruit vibe, but not overly so. It's just kind of soft, fairly well-rounded, but at the end of the day, a bit plain, and it's very highly reminiscent of several other frags out there, all of which, unfortunately, I cannot quite remember what they were. But it definitely has some elements that are deeply reminiscent of some of the stuff by Robert Piguet, like Cravache. I'm not at all saying that this smells like Cravache. Let me just give a dab. But there's some elements in it that are reminiscent. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, Harry Cravache is on a whole nother tier going up, but that's as well as it should be. That's a much more expensive frag, historically, obviously, than, although not mind-boggling, and you can find a lot of Robert Piguets on discounters, and you can save a ton of money. And to be fair, a lot of the Piguet stuff, even in France, even in Paris, is not considered at all excessively expensive. It's sort of run-of-the-mill expensive, if you will. It's not going to be competing with niche frags that cost, for the most part. There are a couple of signature, very rare, special, much more rare Piguet scents that do in fact cost around $200 a bottle. But in general, the line as a whole is not really meant to contend with lines that average $180 to $250 a bottle, nor especially those that average $300 to $450 a bottle or on up, like some of the $500, $600, $700, $800 Clive Christian, some of the more elite levels of the Francis Kurjan. A lot of you out there saying Kurdijan, and that is not the pronunciation. Also, a lot of you out there saying Kirk Dijon. That is also definitely not the pronunciation. I'm not trying to throw shade, but if you just watch a couple of interviews with the man, he actually has corrected other people's pronunciation, or he's answered the question. It's Kurjan, is my understanding. Or at least that's really, really close to a very accurate pronunciation. Anyways, I digress, as usual. This does remind me of one of the other, what I called in my other review of the other Robert Piguet's perfume. I said that I called it a very happy, relaxed perfume. This reminds me a lot of that, only not quite as organic, not quite as rich, but it's got a very similar vibe in general. Now, I will tell you that online, a couple of I don't know how famous they are, vloggers have said or have stated they're of the opinion that this shares a great degree of similarity with Nautica's Voyage. I'm not sure how true that is. It's been a long time since I put my nose on anything by Nautica. No offense to Nautica users or lovers out there. I'm not trying to throw shade. Another guy out here says, where was it? That this reminds him a lot of some of the Carolina Herrera mixed with Burberry and mixed with Lagerfeld Photo, or Photo, however you want to say it. That could be accurate. I don't really know. At any rate, this is easy to wear. I can't imagine it being very offensive. But it's not going, in my opinion, going to get you a whole lot of compliments. It's not that sexy. Probably wouldn't be the go-to choice, especially for club night nor date night. Although you could rock it on a date. Doesn't smell bad at all. It smells good, but I mean, this is not a panty dropper. or if you're into men, this is not a boxer or brief dropper either, I should imagine. Not that it smells old manish or anything, but it just smells good, but not great. It smells fine, but it doesn't smell sexy nor very sensual. And for those reasons, I just can't imagine this being very sexy on a date night or date out or whatever. Definitely not a club frag at all. Nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. This would be a very nice scent to wear, like if you're gonna just stay indoors, read a book, have a cup of Joe, you know, a nice cup of espresso or cappuccino. If you're into writing or vlogging, you just want to smell something good on you, that's fine. This isn't going to blow any socks off, nor doors, nor, you know, you're definitely never going to gas anyone out, because it's, while potent enough, this is nowhere near nuclear atomic levels of those type of frags like Layukawam. It's not weak by any means. It's just kind of run-of-the-mill average. Maybe it's a bit soothing. It's pleasant to wear. It's a pleasant scent. I don't think it does anything more than that, though, and it's not particularly unique. And for those reasons, not that I give any of my frag reviews numbers, I generically do not as a rule, but if I had to, I'd probably give this about a 6 out of 10. It's good, it's decent, smells okay, it's non-offensive or inoffensive, but it's not that good, and it's definitely not that sexy. And so for those reasons, I just could not ever imagine going higher than a 6. Bottle's cool, juice is wicked cool, and I think if you're into collecting the line, you know, why not add this? I think I got this online for about, I don't know, $33, $34, so not at all a bad addition, and I may decant it out, I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up. I think I've already run overtime. I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks so much for joining me here on a Sunday. Unless you've tuned in later, then that's fine. And I will see you next time. Spray often, spray well, and live life on your terms, guys, not someone else's. Life's either too short or too long, depending how you like to slice the apple down the middle. Peace out. Love you guys. Much love. Peace. Until next time.